Hello and welcome. In this video we will see 4 options to rename the DataFrame columns. And the first one is the most obvious one, is use the rename function. The second one is overriding the column names. The third is when we read a CSV file, we have some options for that. And the last one is using the string functions to do some magic. Okay, let's do the code. I will do the code in Visual Studio Code. You can do in any editor that you want. Code will be the same. Let me go up to give you some context. I am importing Pandas because we need Pandas, of course. If you don't have Pandas installed, pip install Pandas in the terminal. Then I have here a file path for a CSV file. The data of the file is not important, okay? Then I am reading the CSV file with read_CSV into this df variable, and after this I am listing the columns, okay? And the columns are df.columns.values. Here in the comments are other ways to do the same job, and here is the same thing for printing the columns. Okay, going down here we have our option 1, and this is actually the skeleton that I am using for the options for the exercises. The first thing that I am doing here is loading again the file. Here we will do the code, and here we are printing the result. The first option is using the rename function, so df.rename, and we pass the columns are equals to a dictionary. Okay, we want to change, for example, name of products to product name and total sales to total sales without underscore. We pass the name of product as a key and product name as the value of key, total sales as the key, total sales as the value without the underscore. Now let's do another thing. We need to do Inplace is equals to true. What is this Inplace? Let's see what is the Inplace parameter, and I will assume that you are new to programming languages. Okay, so let's see a basic concept first. We have this df that is actually a variable. It is called a variable. Okay, and we have the data, the real data frame, where we have our values from our data frame. These values exist somewhere in our computer. So this df, this variable, help us access, find the data. Okay, let's see a real life example. We have this address for a house in the world. Okay, the address, the df, the variable, the house, the data, this is called an object, and the world, our computer. Now let's go to the Inplace part. Let's imagine that you want to plant a tree right next to the house. So for that you have the Inplace parameter, where you can choose true. If you choose true, it will do the operation very straightforward. It will plant the tree right next to the house. In the other hand, if you say that the Inplace is false, what it will do is it will make a copy of the house, it will build another house, then it will plant the tree on the house, and finally it will return a new address for the new house. I did this example in this way because I think it's very easy to understand the implications of using true or using false in the Inplace parameter. This one requires more processing power of your computer, requires more memory because it needs to create another object and so on. Okay, the first parameter answers the question rename what, and the second parameter answers the question change original data, and in this case we are answering true, change the original data, because we don't want to make a new copy. Now let's run these, and we go here and we just run, and we got this result for our option 1, product name, available signs, total sales, and star rank. Let's move to the next exercise, and here we will do a different thing. We will create a new names that is actually a list of new names. Let me copy these, the original names, and let me paste here. These are the names, and let's make these different. Product name, available size with uppercase, total sales, and star rank. Now we just need to say DataFrame.columns is equals to new names, this new list. Let's run this. And we got here the option 2, product name, available size, total sales, and star rank, like we did. Let's go to the next exercise, the option 3, and here we will reuse the new list and we will add a new parameter to read_CSV. After the file path, we add the names parameter that is equals to the new names list. Okay, now we can run this and we got here the option 3 and everything is okay. At least we think so. If we decide to print the first 5 rows df.head of our data and we run this again, we got something strange here. We have the names that we actually want, but the first row is the old names as values of our data frame. This is not what we want. And why this happens? With this argument, this names argument, Pandas think that source file has no headers, the CSV file has no headers. So Pandas decides to put in the header parameter the value none. We must say here also after the names that the headers start at row number 0. Let's run this again. And we got this result. Our option 3 is okay here, and also in the data frame is everything okay. So this means that the first parameter is load from where, the second parameter answers the question what are the column names, and the third parameter, the header, which row has the names to be replaced. Let's move to the next exercise and the last one. Now let's imagine that you have a lot of columns, not just 4. Imagine that you have 40, okay? Is a lot of columns for you to do by hand. So we have another way to rename the columns. We go here and we say dataframe.columns is equals to dataframe.columns.string to access string functions, and we say replace every underscore with a blank space. Also we want to replace name of product to be product name, and finally we want all the words to start with uppercase like a title. Let's run this. And this is our option for our result. We don't have any underscore and all the words start with uppercase, okay? Just to review, the option 1 was using the rename function and we needed to pass the columns parameter where we pass here a dictionary with the old names as the key and the new names as the value, okay? Also we choose to say that the Inplace is equals to true because we don't want to make a new data frame, okay? The second option was just creating a list with the new names and assign this list to our dataframe.columns. Third option was passing to read CSV the parameter names with the list of names, and because of this Pandas thinks that headers don't exist, and we need to say also that the header actually exists and it is at row number 0, okay? The last option was this. We change the dataframe.columns with help of string functions, okay? And this is the end. Don't forget to give a like, to subscribe if you are not subscribed. Don't forget that you can download the source code too. And as always, thank you for watching.